Ninja and Flannel. Today I've got my CZ P10F 9mm. Make sure she's empty. Now, had this for a couple of years now, put thousands of rounds through it, heavily modified, shot it in all different scenarios. I conceal carry it, I shoot competitions with it, everything. So I can give you a good evaluation about how I feel about this pistol and how it compares to other 9mm on the market. Here we go. A couple of important notes before we get started. First is that I'll have a link of where you can find these P10s in the description. I'm gonna look around, make sure I find the best deal at the moment, save you some trouble, save you some legwork. On top of that, make sure you check out the Ninja and Flannel website, link in the description as well. Email list for good gun deals, stuff like that I find. Usually it's stuff that I'm buying myself, and I just share it with people who are subscribed. So check out that and the website. A lot of these affiliate links and stuff do help support the channel here at Ninja and Flannel and keep things rolling. So back onto the review. The first thing we're gonna talk about is price. Now, the best deal I've seen for these is usually around $380, something like that, which is ridiculously low for a duty or carry 9mm. The average going rate for stuff in this category is usually around $500. So $380 is ridiculously cheap and affordable, especially for a pistol that is so nice. Even aside from the price, this is still my top pick for 9mm. Glock guys are not gonna be happy, but this is my top pick. Now, price-wise, about $280. We'll see what I find for the link in the description, as mentioned before, but you can't really beat the price. Moving on. If anyone's interested in building this exact setup, or you're curious of just what I did, very end of the video, I'll just do a quick run over everything I've had done to this particular one and what I would do different and what I like to keep. Real quick at the end, you can pan to the end of the video and check that out if you're interested. Ergonomics. Now, this is something you're gonna see a big difference in different firearms. Sorry Glock guys, but at least for me personally, in my hand, the Glock is probably the least comfortable feeling pistol. It kind of feels like I'm holding a 2x4 with the trigger attached. No offense. Now, the P10 on the other hand is probably one of the best, if not the best, grips on the market. Some of the Walthers and HKs, I'm not sure which ones, some of them have slightly more comfortable grips, but things in other areas I don't like as much. But the P10, you really sit very nice. The way the grip angle and the swell is here, it really helps push your hand into that ideal spot for recoil management. You can get up real tight on it naturally when you draw, which is a big bonus for me. The angle itself, it's very intuitive of how you would hold it and shoot. And I would say ergonomics overall are excellent on the P10. One of the first things you'll notice if you go to a local gun shop and pick one up is the ergonomics are fantastic. So 10 plus there. Reliability. Now this is always the real question with your carry guns and duty guns. Is it reliable? It doesn't matter how fancy, how comfortable, any of that, if it doesn't work. Now, not to say that that's the only thing that matters, that some companies like to tote that the gun runs flawlessly so nothing else matters, but I don't feel like you need to go without bells and whistles just for a gun that functions. I think that you can have your cake and eat it too. So that's where the P10 comes in. So you have your ergonomics and everything you need, and this is extremely reliable for me. I shot I think it was an 11-hour match in the pouring rain. I mean, like, you draw your gun and there's a puddle of water sitting on your lens here that you gotta dump out. Pouring rain, lots of people's firearms were jamming. Probably the most jams I've ever seen at a match because of all the rain. And this boy ran like a champ. Another guy in the same squad as me was also running a P10 and his ran like a champ, zero problem. So reliability, even with filthy shooting in the rain, all kinds of craziness, they run really well. They would compare with all the other main ones in the market like Glock and VP9, all that stuff. I would say that the P10 is right up there with them, if not superior compared to some of them. So reliability, 10 for 10 as well. Sponsor of today's video is actually Freedom Munitions. Pretty cool company. Before I started working with them, I actually shot exclusively Freedom Munitions ammo for several years, especially in 223 and 9mm. I use it even for competitions and everything. It runs really reliable for me, and it's usually the cheapest on the market, even compared to steel ammo. So I run it for just about everything but home defense, and that's mainly because I'm buying their remanufactured stuff. So check out Freedom Munitions, really good company, and I strongly support them. Accuracy. Now, a lot of people want to talk about pistol accuracy and match loads. Most people, 99% of people, are not even going to notice how accurate their pistol is, at least how it shoots and how the barrel is and stuff, because chances are they're not good enough to know, including myself. I wouldn't be good enough to know for most of them. What you're really gonna be ranging off a lot of that is your grip angle, how you can brace up on the gun, your sights, your trigger, things like that. And accuracy, no complaints with this at all. It shoots just like every other 9mm pistol. It shoots straight and it shoots about as good as you can. Aftermarket support. So this is an often overlooked thing where you buy a gun because you read good reviews on it. You eventually want to make it something like this and do some modifications, but it doesn't have good enough aftermarket support, so you're kind of stuck there. So for me personally, it would make a difference if I buy a gun or not, depending on the support it will have. Now, like a Glock, I would say it's 10 for 10 for aftermarket support. Everything you want to do it with, everything you would want to do for the Glock, plus a bunch of options. Now, the P10, you can still accomplish anything you want to accomplish in every portion of it, but you may not have as many options in each category. So I'd say it's about a 6 or 7 out of 10 as far as aftermarket support goes, although there is enough to build whatever you'd like. So talking about concealment. Now, this is the P10F, which is their biggest version, second to the competition, the one that's a designated competition. So this is my usual carry, and this is a T-Rex arm sidecar, which I do like quite a bit. I am gonna slowly be switching to the Risen holsters. I'm a huge fan of them. Video coming out about this soon. This is for a different gun though. But Risen holsters is cool. But anyway, right now I'm using the T-Rex arms sidecar with a spare mag, and this is their biggest P10. It's not bad to carry. Some people say I'm crazy to carry this, but it's not bad. The normal people who aren't me are gonna get your P10C, which is pretty much the same size as a Glock 19. Maybe a touch slimmer if you look at them side by side. But yeah, concealed carry wise, it's right up there in the optimal little zone between a functional full battle pistol and a carry gun. Concealed carry, this is a pretty solid way to go, but again, you're gonna wanna go with the C model, not the F, unless you're crazy like myself. All right, so as promised, what I've got in here right now is an Apex Tactical Solutions trigger, which I am experimenting with right now. I have the one from Overwatch I'm testing, the Killer Innovations, and the Apex. All of them are very nice with differences on depending on what type of style of shooting you like to do. So any of those 3 major triggers, that's Apex, Overwatch, and Killer Innovations, are all really nice. Now, next thing is I went with a RMR from Trijicon. I like the Trijicon RMR because of its durability, mainly because of this slope in the top. It helps the impact go to the sides rather than your glass, at least that's what I'm told. Visual wise, I actually think that some of the other ones in the market, even the Holosun 507C, looks much nicer than the RMR, and I've heard good stories about the durability as well. But at least for this build, I did the RMR. I did the iron sights in front of it, which I had done from Jaegerworks for the slide milling. They did all my serrations, all that stuff. I didn't go with window cuts because I don't want crap getting in there if I'm concealed carrying. I had the fiber front sight put on and a rear sight. Now I have my rear sight in front of my optic. Why that is, if it's in front of it and you're slightly crooked, the red dot, you'll still be able to see it with both eyes open on the back of your irons. If it's behind it and it blocks your dot, you don't see it at all. So it just makes it a little snappier if you're a little crooked coming up. I like it in front much better. Moving to some of the internals, I have a DPM Systems recoil system inside. Very interesting progressive spring system. There's like 3 or 4 springs that gradually get stronger as it compresses. Some people hate them. Without trying them, they hate them. But trying it for myself, shooting a couple thousand rounds, I really like the DPM System spring. Check those out if you're doing one of these builds. They help make it a little more reliable in my opinion, and they reduce the recoil just slightly. Flashlight, I went with the TLR7A. I like the switches on it. If I went back, especially because this gun is longer, I would have gone with the TLR, I think it's 1, slightly bigger one. And that's what I would do for the light. And that's pretty much my full build. Pretty simple, straightforward, but I changed most of the major components. Now, what I would do if I did things different are the flashlight, the TLR1 instead. I need to do a threaded barrel. That's something I'm still gonna add. And one flaw with the iron sights in front of your optic cut are that I don't think I could ever switch to an SRO because it has to hang forward a little bit. I haven't tried it. There is a small gap, but I'm fairly certain an SRO will fit on here. If I ever figure out that it does work, I will let you guys know. But that's about the only thing I would do different. I love the Jaegerworks job they did. As far as slide milling goes, it's pretty cool. I might do something to the lower in the future, maybe some stippling, something like that. But for now, it's pretty much sticking this way, and I'm happy with it. So all in all, the CZ-P10 is just a gem. No one really knows about it. It's under $400. It runs reliably. It's ergonomic, aftermarket support. It's easy to carry. It's easy to use as a full duty gun. The P10 is honestly a gem. If you haven't tried one, go pick one up somewhere. Even just hold it in the gun shop, borrow it from a buddy. Try it out and let me know what you think in the comments about these, because I am super impressed. I'm a hardcore P10 fanboy at this point. I'll just admit it. I'm a little bit biased if you haven't noticed. But yeah, check these out and hope you enjoyed the video. You'll see a lot of footage of this coming soon. Farewell.